Hi friends, today's lesson is for Module 3, Lesson 21. Friends, don't think that I'm wild, but I am just having so much fun comparing objects. Are you? Well, I hope you are, because comparing is such a blast. I love finding things that they are the same and then talking about how they're different. Just so much fun. Well, today I have a great idea. For our learning goal, it says, I can compare sets of objects as more, less, or the same as. And I got a little wild with some blocks and some shapes that I found. I think you're going to like our comparing today. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dump out all the blocks that I have. Oh man, did I make a mess. Now what we're going to do today is, as you can notice, there's a whole bunch of different shapes there. What shapes do you see? Oh, yes, very nice. Anything else? What are those yellow guys called again? Oh yeah, hexagons. Perfect. So over in the picture, I see a circle. Yep, triangle. And this is a hexagon. Perfect. And then this one is a rectangle. Excellent job. So today what we're going to do is we're going to compare the different shapes. Now we're going to use that good strategy we use of just counting the different items. So let's go ahead and start with circles. How many circles do you see? Go ahead and get your counting finger and go ahead and tap on the screen and count all the circles you see. Perfect. Good job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, when I count, I just wanted to let you know, this is my helpful hint for the day. When I count objects, I kind of start in a pattern. So for this one, I started at the top and worked my way down as I counted. Like these rectangles, when we count those, I'll probably start on the side and work my way over. Why do you think that that's more helpful to kind of go in a pattern or find a path, as opposed like, what if I count like this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Uh-oh. Yeah, that gets confusing, right? Because you're just not sure which ones you counted. So when you're counting objects, try to find like a path that you can follow so you make sure you get them all. All right, excellent. That's my helpful tip. You're welcome. All right, triangles. How many triangles do we see over there, friends? Good. 1, 2, 3. And how many hexagons? Hey, don't forget those are the yellow guys. Fantastic. 3 again. 1, 2, 3. And then finally, how many rectangles? Perfect. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now that we have counted all of the shapes that we have, we can do some comparing. Do you see any shapes that have the same amount as another shape? Excellent. Can you tell me a sentence? Yes, you could say there are the same amount of triangles as hexagons because they both have 3. Or you can say 3 is the same as 3. So the same number of hexagons as there are triangles. Fantastic. What about, can you say a sentence saying more than? Ooh, I like that. There are more circles than rectangles. Can you think of another more than sentence? Ooh, there are more circles than triangles. We could do this all day with more than. Can you think of another one? Yeah, there are more circles than hexagons. And can you think of, we'll just do one more. I can think of a whole bunch more. This is tricky. There are more rectangles than hexagons. Oh, we could even say there are more rectangles than triangles. Oh my goodness. I love talking about more than, less than, and the same as with all these shapes. Can you tell me one sentence? We won't go wild on this one. One sentence that has fewer than in it. There are blank, fewer than blank. Yes. There are fewer triangles than rectangles. That was a good one. All right, you did fantastic with this. All right, let me mix up my shapes and we'll pull out a few new ones. And look what I made, a pizza pie. Yeah, I use 2 really big circles, to make those good pizza pie shapes. And then I put all of my other shapes on the inside to look like pepperoni and meatballs and green peppers. Makes me hungry. All right, what shapes do you see here, friends? Again, I see circles, triangles, hexagons, and rectangles. All right, we are going to go ahead and count all the different shapes and go ahead and write the number right next to the shapes, just like we did last time. I'm going to help you out on the circle because this one's kind of tricky because they're sitting on top of each other. I have a big white circle, and on top of it I have a big yellow circle. That's because I wanted to look like a crust and then the cheese. So there are 2 circles actually. All right, how many triangles do you see? Good job. There are 5 triangles. How many hexagons? Fantastic. There are 3 hexagons. And how many rectangles? Wonderful. There are 5 rectangles. Wow, you did fantastic. All right, who can tell me a sentence about some of these shapes using more than, fewer than, or the same as? Ooh, good job. Yeah, there are the same number of triangles as there are rectangles. Wonderful. Oh, that was a good more than sentence. There are more rectangles than circles. I like it. Can you come up with a more than sentence? Uh-huh. All right, perfect. What about a less than sentence? Can you think of a less than sentence? Yeah, there are fewer hexagons than there are triangles. Or I could say there are less hexagons than there are triangles. Good one. Can you think of one? Perfect. You could say there are fewer circles than rectangles. Wow, friend, you're so good at comparing these different shapes. What about, oh, I'm going to give you one in a minute. Our learning goal said I can compare sets of objects as more, less, or the same as, and that's exactly what we've been doing today. And friend, I have to say you're doing a fantastic job. So I'm going to give you this fancy castle that I made. Oh, yeah. All right, what I would like you to do is I can see that in the castle there are triangles, circles, squares, and rectangles. What I would like you to do is I want you to go ahead and write down how many triangles you see, how many circles you see, how many squares you see, and then how many rectangles you see. And then I want you to tell me 2 sentences. They can be any sentences comparing the amount of the different shapes, okay? So write down the amounts and then tell me 2 sentences where you compare them and send them on Seesaw. All right, good luck.